Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. It's another edition of 95X Live, and today we are fortunate enough to be joined by Girl in Red. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit and talk with us today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm very excited because you've got a brand new single called Too Much that we're playing on 95X. It is infectious and the perfect follow up to the last record. And speaking of records, you've got one called I'm Doing It Again, Baby, available everywhere April 12th. And it has now become my most anticipated new album of 2024. I have to assume you're
Wow.
very excited to get this out into the world.
Excited is like an understatement. I'm fuming, I'm electric, I'm everything. I'm like excitement times a million times. I feel like I just want the world to hear this so that I can kind of update who Girl in Red is completely. Cause I feel like, I love the first album and I love all this previous stuff that I've done. It's all close to my heart, but the new stuff, I just think it's so cool and fun and playful, and yeah, I'm just so ready for it to come out. So thank you also for saying that. Too Much is a nice follow up. That means a lot.
Well, I think that unlike a lot of radio folks in the States, I found you at an early state with your second EP, Chapter Two.
Yeah.
So it's been so amazing with each release to watch your art sort of evolve and grow, right? And with it, I can hear your confidence kick in, and it's almost like in a weird way, sort of the same thing Haley Williams dealt with, where you kind of grew up in front of the world just based on the fact that you broke through at such an early age and then were very successful very early on. That can't be the easiest thing to deal with in your formative years, especially as an artist. In an artist like yourself that is so honest and authentic and shows so much of yourself in the art, that's got to be a very daunting task.
I definitely think that you know, I was like 19 when things really started to change, and things started to move very quickly, and I started to tour, and I was kind of just saying yes to everything, and I that definitely gave me, or kind of, I don't know, burnt me out a little bit, and I was really tired, but I've had such a strong like support system around me to facilitate this sort of dream for me. And so I've gotten so much help from my family and stuff. So that's all been good. But I think like the one thing that sometimes that I still think of, that like getting success very with your early music. It's like the early stuff, like chapter one, like I Want to Be Your Girlfriend, and kind of those like very rough songs, like they're produced very roughly. I think there's something almost scary about getting big with a sound that's so different than what the new stuff is like, because I feel like the growing up with the music is the stuff that scares me the most, because like I'm just scared that people will just be like, always be like, oh, make another, like, I Want to Be Your Girlfriend, and I'm like, girl, I made that song when I was 18 years old. I'm 25 now. Like I'm in a different place. I produce differently. I record differently. Like, so yeah, I think that's kind of like the only thing that I'm like, oh, freaking out about.
Right, because there seems to be this thing when it comes to fandom where you just kind of want, as a fan, more of the thing that made you fall in love with that artist. And in a lot of ways, I think that's a dangerous mindset for some people that don't allow their favorite artists to evolve naturally and grow into the space that their life has led them to.
Yeah, I think I remember Tyler, the creator, he responded to people saying that one time in an interview or something, where he was like, "Well, that music is still there. Like, that old music is still there for you to listen to. So if you like, I'm never gonna make another Serotonin, even though you want me to, because I made that song, and that and there it is. Like, it's like Serotonin is what it is, because and that's why I like it, because it's there. It's what it became. So you can't like replicate something like that. So, but I try at least not to worry about it too much, because no pun intended, but because it's like it's not a very productive thing to kind of just be like, "Oh, why aren't my ideas like the ones I got before?" But I feel like too much has that like Girl in Red like it's like very melodic, and it's hooky and catchy, and it's like that's in a way the essence of all my songs. That's like the core. They're all like hooky and catchy, and I feel like the core of all my music, it's still there. You know what I mean? Like the
Absolutely.
lyrics and everything.
Absolutely. And there's obviously been a maturity process that's happened as well. You said it yourself. You started when you were 19, you're now 25. As life teaches you lessons, it becomes part of the language that you use within the art. The one thing that has struck me since day one of discovering your music is how incredibly adept you are at creating dynamics, right? Like there are some songs that are so lush and just beautiful and cinematic in a way. And then you've got other songs where that same vibe is there, but it becomes this juxtaposition where it skips to a frenetic part where your gorgeous melodic sort of vocal turns into almost like a rapid fire machine gun. And I adore that because, in my opinion, that's what alternative music in 2024 should sound like. And I think
Yeah.
that for somebody your age who continues to evolve and grow at such a pace that I can't even imagine what the next 5 years are going to have in store for Girl in Red.
I mean, I am really excited. I definitely feel like in a way, I think I'm gonna lose a lot of fans with this new album. Like I think I might, unless my old fans like grow with me. I think I'm worried, of course, but I know it's like that's how life goes. I might lose some very like beginning core fans because they're like maybe, but I also think I might gain some. I hope I'll gain some new ones with this, because not nuance, but new ones. I think there's a lot of nuance on the album though, but um because it really is. I feel like I've just really pushed myself, and also like I like what you said about what is really alternative music in 2024, because like I feel like the it's kind of like the way when the world right now, it's like the globalization of the world is extreme right now, and like it feels like, and I think the same thing is kind of happening with genres, like the way that nothing is really linked to specific environments anymore, or like geographics. It's like it's all just like it's a big like pot of like magic pot with where everything is like collected almost, because it's all in my reality here in the internet, like and everything. So I think on this album, there's just like there's parts of everything. It's like I got classical music in there, I got some rap in there, I got like a banjo in there, I got country in there. Like there's probably like there are hip hop elements, there are like indie rock elements, guitar distortion, sort of piano ballads, like everything, electronic stuff. I've kind of like put everything in there. Anything that interests me, it's all in there. And so yeah, I actually think you will be very excited to hear the album, because I do think it's like a very it's a take on alternative music in 2024.
Like I said, I'm so excited for April 12th, the new album. I'm doing it again, baby, from Girl in Red. Again, anticipating that one. And I have a feeling that I said it earlier this year with the last dinner party. I was so fervent for that album that came out, and it was so satisfying. I think your album is the next in line for me to obsess over for months and months and months. And
I hope so.
I, based on previous work and the new single, I can only imagine how truly amazing that this new album will be. Um, it's one of those things where you have this exhilarating vibe to your art where like you just kind of get swept up in it. Because I've spent like the last week or so since we booked this, going back and just kind of like listening in a chronological way to it. And it really definitely opened my eyes in a lot of ways to some things that I missed, earlier on. And now just building from chapter one to chapter two to if I could make it go quiet, and now anticipating this new album and seeing those steps in between, my mind is just bewildered at what this new album is going to be.
Dude, this is like, it's, I'm just in my apartment in also right now, and sometimes you can kind of forget, like, there's just so much stuff going on in the world, and then you can kind of feel like you can, well, I don't know why I'm saying you, I should just say me. Or I can get worried that maybe Girl in Red is, like, not as cool anymore, or, like, maybe, like, my time has passed, or, like, I have these very present fears, but there's something really cool in hearing, like, just an obvious, like, music guy just being really excited for it, because I don't know, that just really honestly really means a lot, and yeah, because I am scared about putting this album out, even though I think it's, like, the best thing I've ever done. I'm also very nervous, and I'm constantly like, "Oh, what if it's not good enough?" But it honestly means a lot hearing from, like, someone who's just, like, really interested in music, and maybe isn't all about trends and what's going viral, and, like, but actually just cares about the quality of something, which is something I feel like less and less care about. It's all about, like, "Oh, you only had one viral moment," or "You haven't had any viral moments. You're irrelevant." Like, it's all these different things that are kind of ruining the music industry slowly and surely, kind of just eating up artists. And I think, yeah, it just means a lot hearing that you're excited to hear the music, and maybe you don't give a shit about TikTok, and that's sick also. But yeah.
I'm one of those people that just adores the art and being able to support artists who are breaking through that actually have something to say. Your authenticity, your honesty in each and every song and album that you've put out has earned a place in my heart that is just filled with respect for not only the way that you push boundaries with the sounds, but for what you provide for a community. Your honesty, your words, and your support of a community that often goes marginalized in the world is, to me, one of the most heartfelt and truly authentic things that I've encountered in a very long time. And the fact that the art is just as inspiring for me makes you one of the most important young artists of this generation. And I think that the nervousness you feel is to be expected with a new release coming. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think that this new album is going to be the next chapter for you and will just build upon a legacy that you started just a few years ago that will ultimately, in the end, see Girl in Red be one of this generation's loudest voices.
Ooh, that's a dude, thank you. That's yeah, that's big words, but thank you. Like, seriously, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I want to say thank you to you for taking the time to sit and chat with me and fill our 95X listeners in a little bit on what's to come with the new album. I'm doing it again, baby, available everywhere April 12th. So I can't thank you enough for your time today. I wish you nothing but continued success. And again, I'm so looking forward to this album.
Thank you so much. I hope you like the album, and thank you for supporting my music. And thanks to anyone who's listening to this, also who's listened all the way through. Have an amazing day.
You as well. We'll talk to you soon.